forearm here. The underside here, I'm going to spin some faces. Grab these two, spin these back. Grab these two, spin these also. What we want to do is line up the geometry so it flows from the palm of the hand straight up the arm on the underside here. Two faces, spin these also. And the reason for this is so the geometry flows straight up is when we extrude out the flexor muscles, spin those two, they flow straight up the bottom side of the arm. I'm going to round it out here, do an edge loop split here, grab these points, make sure you don't select that other two here, push these back and up, grab the bottom ones, push them up, so we can distinguish the hand from the wrist a little bit. Grab some points, push these down, round out the form a little. The next muscle masses we're going to grab and extrude out is brachioradialis and extensor carpi radialis longus. And they start between the biceps and the triceps above the arm and round out towards the hand. So I'm going to grab these two faces, spin them around. Grab the ones right behind it, spin those. Now I'm going to grab these two, basically setting up for where we're going to extrude the brachioradialis muscle from. Move the points out of the way, line it up. Now it's important when you're spinning faces, let me spin that one back, I didn't like where it was. Now spin this one, so that's got a better flow to it. Always move the points around so you can understand what you're spinning and why you're spinning it, and what flow you're going for. Because if you just spin without moving the points around, it's not going to work. You're not going to know what to spin. Spin those two. You can see the flow of the geometry is now following where we want it to, setting us up so we can extrude out the geometry there. Now for the first muscle I don't actually have to extrude, the geometry is already there, so for brachioradialis it's already set up. But we're setting it up right behind it for where we're going to extrude out extensor carpi radialis longus. And now I'm pushing these points into position so I can select the faces. Go into face mode now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 faces right there. Extrude those out. And that's going to be extensor carpi radialis longus, the first of our extensor muscles we're going to extrude out from the top part here. Now round out the form a little. Push that in. Grab the other side also, round it out, too sharp. Round out. Let's grab these two faces in the back of it, spin those towards the back there. Spin the front ones down and round out the form down. After this, we're going to extrude out the next extensor muscle. It's going to be extensor digitorum, which goes right down along the top side of the arm. That's going to be these faces right down the middle here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 faces. Extrude that up, pull it up, scale it together, circle, round it out a little. And zoom in here and spin these two faces right at the back. Angle them in towards extensor carpi radialis longus. Push these edges down. And the next group of faces we're going to extrude out is going to be extensor carpi ulnaris. It's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 faces. Extrude it, scale it, pull it out. Grab the edges, round out the form. Grab grab the faces here, spin those so they line up with the geometry. Much better flow. Now we're going to extrude out 3 faces right here, the front side of the, close to the wrist. There's going to be 2 muscles together, abductor pollicis longus and extensor pollicis longus. Spin the face there. Smooth out some of the geometry. Now let's go to the other side of the arm. Let's rotate down. Now we're going to extrude out all the flexors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the first one we're going to be extruding out is going to be flexor carpi radialis. Extrude that out, scale it in. Now zoom in here a little bit and round out the forms. Okay. Same thing on the top part. Push that in, round it out. Grab these 2 faces, zoom in. Spin it inward and delete the extra edges. The next muscle we're going to extrude out is down the center line there. That's going to be the palmaris longus muscle, whose tendon attaches to your palm. Move around some geometry. Now let's extrude that out. Extrude it out, push it forward, down, scale it together. Notice that I'm also rotating a little bit because when I scale, the arm's a little rotated. Spin those 2 faces. Now the last muscle we're going to extrude out is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 faces here, and that is flexor carpi ulnaris. Scale that, push that out. Go through real quick and round out the form. You might have gotten lost. We've extruded a lot of muscles on the forearm. It's one of the most difficult areas, I think, that we've created on this DVD. We're still not done yet. Let's spin these faces inward. And next I'm going to go through and clean up some of the geometry. I'm going to add one more muscle right here. That muscle is pronator teres. I'm going to extrude that out. Push it out and scale it together. Now I'm going to quickly grab the points, push them around, and line things up a bit. Spin these 2 faces the other way. Move around these edges a little. Space things out evenly, remember? Oh, can't get that face. Come on. Select those 2, make sure nothing else is selected, and spin those. Now separate that point out between them. Round out the forms a little. Okay. Let's rotate around real quick. See if there's any problem areas. Move around these points, shaping things a little nicer. I'm going to do a few more face spinning right around here. I think we have, spin those 2, spin it down towards the hand. Now this area has got too much geometry. Let me spin these 2 right here. That looks like we're creating where the setup for where the brachialis muscle exists underneath the biceps there. Getting the flow a little nicer. Go to this part of the arm now. Zoom in here and delete some of these. Spin that. Delete the extra edges between. Now spin these 2. Just feel there's too much geometry there. There doesn't need to be. It isn't really helping the form. So delete that one. So a little less geometry. Hopefully not too much less. You spin these two, that's too sharp of an angle. Let's spin. I hope all these spinning faces isn't confusing. You might have to delete that edge. Go back and forth a few times to watch everything. And spin those two upward. Make sure nothing else is selected. Whoops. Spin it up. There. It's got the flow I wanted to get. Let's rotate it around to the back now. See if anything's wrong here. I don't like that point coming to a point right there underneath the elbow or on top here. Look it around, see what we can fix. Alright, let me select these two faces, spin those, get a little bit better flow there, spin those two, and one more time. Might look a little too straight, but we'll fix that later on. We smooth things out. On the bottom side, same thing. Needs to be smoothed out a little bit. Just a bit too big of two faces there. Grab those two, spin them one more time, there. And now select these two big faces. Spin those, now it's got a nice, one more time, those two. So now after we spin these two, the flow will go nicely down the arm. There. Okay, move around some of these points. Everything's looking a little better. Grab those, spin them. And these final two ones, now you can see the flow is better down the arm on the underside too. Alright, any other problem parts? No, I don't see any right now. Let's see. Grab these points to find the elbow a little better. And that's it.